Some people did something, said a freshman congresswoman from Minnesota, to support and justify the creation of CARE. Today I am here to respond to you exactly who did what to whom. Madam, objectively speaking, we know who and what was done. There is no uncertainty about that. Why your confusion? On that day, 19 Islamic terrorist members of Al-Qaeda killed over 3,000 people and caused billions of dollars of economic damage. Is that clear? But as to whom? I was attacked. Your relatives and friends were attacked. Our constitutional freedoms were attacked. And our nation's founding on Judeo-Christian principles were attacked. That's what some people did. Got that now? We are here today, Congresswoman, to tell you and the squad just who did what to whom. Show respect in honoring them, please. American patriotism in your position demand it. For God and country, amen.
Of its kind, though, in this case. Yeah. Tariffs that have already been applied, they're going to be waived going forward for a year. This feels like a huge step from China. Is it an olive branch ahead of fresh talks, or is this acknowledgement that tariffs are hurting the domestic economy, or perhaps both here?
I think a little bit of both, but the latter is a big driver here. I mean, you're talking about cancer treatment drugs, and you're talking about the kinds of products you use to feed livestock and in the production of their own agriculture industry. So it looks to me like they're trying to make sure that really important parts of their economy aren't going to be hurt, and the social, frankly, social stability in their country isn't going to be hurt by the higher prices there. Cancer patients and farmers, that's, you know, pretty basic here. So you got two big rounds here. One list, it's a total, just you can waive these categories. It's everything from shrimp seedlings, fish meal for feed, lubricating oil, and the like. The second list, these are also exemptions: whey, a mold release agent, a base stock for lubricating oil. Some of these you're going to be able to get a refund on if you've already paid these tariffs. Others, there's just a reprieve going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did note that neither pork nor soybeans, of course, critical.
Politically sensitive, not on that list.
Yeah.
El futuro de los migrantes que solicitan asilo en la frontera sur de Estados Unidos sigue siendo incierto. El martes, la Corte Federal de Apelaciones del Noveno Circuito suspendió nuevamente una orden judicial de alcance nacional emitida por el juez federal John Tigar, la cual bloqueaba la restricción de asilo del gobierno. El Departamento de Justicia pidió la anulación del fallo. La decisión de la Corte de Apelaciones vuelve a limitar la posibilidad de que los migrantes centroamericanos soliciten asilo en la frontera, excepto aquellos que lo hagan en California y Arizona, estados bajo la jurisdicción de esa corte. La medida sustenta que aquellos migrantes que pidan asilo en la frontera sur de Estados Unidos y que hayan residido o que hayan transitado en un tercer país considerado seguro no podrán solicitar una protección de asilo en Estados Unidos. Los cambios a las regulaciones de asilo del gobierno de Trump han tenido varios reveses judiciales desde que fueron publicadas en julio. Ese mes, el juez Tigar bloqueó la medida del gobierno a nivel nacional, después de una demanda de la Unión Estadounidense de Libertades Civiles y otras organizaciones, pero casi un mes después, la Corte de Apelaciones del Noveno Circuito limitó el fallo de Tigar solo a los estados que comprenden su jurisdicción, es decir, California y Arizona. Este lunes, Tigar volvió a fallar para frenar los cambios a nivel nacional, pero el martes la Corte de Apelaciones del Noveno Distrito suspendió nuevamente la decisión de Tigar, lo que representa un triunfo para el gobierno de Trump. El director interino del Servicio de Inmigración y Control de Aduanas, Ken Cuccinelli, lo enfatizó en las redes sociales.
Y algunas buenas noticias en el frente judicial, por ahora.
La Corte de Apelaciones solicitó al Departamento de Justicia y al demandante entregar antes del 19 de septiembre sus argumentos del caso. Los cambios a las regulaciones de asilo son una de las numerosas medidas implementadas por el gobierno de Estados Unidos para desanimar a quienes quieren pedir asilo en la frontera con México. Isabel Morales, CNN, Washington.
The candidates, they say, are risking their general election chances by taking on one another and tarnishing Barack Obama's legacy instead of focusing on defeating President Trump. President Obama is, after all, an ex-president with 95% popularity among Democrats, according to Gallup, and 65% among independents. Now, again, this is not us giving Democrats advice. This is Democrats and some Republicans giving Democrats advice, echoing President Obama, who warned about this before the campaign even got going at a town hall in Berlin earlier this year.
One of the things I do worry about sometimes among progressives in the United States, maybe it's true here as well, is a certain kind of rigidity where we say, I'm sorry, this is how it's going to be, and then we start sometimes creating what's called a circular firing squad, where you start shooting at your allies because one of them is straying from purity on the issues.
Well, that sentiment is being echoed now. Here's CNN political commentator and Democratic strategist Paul Begala earlier today.
This is my problem. The whole two-day debate is I believe many of these candidates seeking to win the nomination are setting themselves up to lose the presidency to Donald Trump.
Well, Begala arguing that in the effort to win the primaries, Democratic candidates are moving so far left they won't be able to win in a general election. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer also weighed in, calling Democratic squabbling over health care policy, quote, a trap that we shouldn't fall into. No circular firing squads, he added. Eric Holder, who served as Attorney General under President Obama, tweeted this: to my fellow Democrats, be wary of attacking the Obama record, build on it, expand it, but there's little to be gained for you or the party by attacking a very successful and still popular Democratic president. Now, other Democrats will say that hammering out policy differences are part and parcel of any primary in either party, and there are real policy differences between Democrats, differences that candidates want to make clear so they can distinguish themselves in what is a very crowded field. The question is, can Democrats figure out a way to pick a nominee without debasing the eventual nominee or harming the credibility of the still popular former standard bearer? That remains to be seen.